Ibwagatin missing chitab Kolenjin atinye kamang'unet neo ale kiboibochi betung'ung nebo Jumatatu ko betut nebo mut nebo arawetab mut kenyitab 2025 kasarta neitun logoiwekab emet kobun tetutiet nebo Tililindo eng yutobo studio nebo Kass TV. Kigurenon Caroline Kiplagat ngetounen ang'ata Barigoi County nebo Narok ole katestai eng betab raini igorta nebo saet nebo biik mut chekibet sobonwek eng chemarget nekibitu en komosata bo ang'ata Barigoi en county nebo Narok. En igorata kamito kandoik cheboto Senate Majority Leader ne kora ko Senator nebo Kericho Aaron Cheriot, MP nebo Emurua Dikir Johana Ngeno. En kwenutab kandoik alak kokabitu kurset nebo konyoru imanda bichoto kibet sobonwek ak kora kakuyet amune sikomito terchinet nebo mbaret en komosata bang'ata ak kakwautik chekibe asimabitu kit nekokiborionji en komosata.
Lego nosub ngalechu lego bendita komami chi nebo Kolenjin nemakas rirek chekomi koron ako kosach chi tugul ako leuye tom kai kekere ngalek cheu cho. Kit kityo nekasome ko simoek puch korotikab lagokchok chekokiseta oyengoek mwisho kabisa makai tun kekas kele kakebarge en olie bang'ata en ngalekab mbaret. Kwababaitu because oino kokosich nafas boisiek kwok koyikakibwan en betuni kisubi kokabit ngalechu ong'ololwech en ketit mokoiwet yun ko kiane nekikamwao kole amache kokerge konda en konda ak laitoriatab emet soteben ngalechu tugul. Amache awech kongoi ndamun kobit nafas inoton ako kong'alal ak boisiekab koroni kot komwochi ng'alek chechang chuton chukimwochi chebo mbaret ak ng'al chesire choton chebo tabu chekikobun tupchonikchok.
Lakini chitab ang'ata kokimutu chumindet. Kito nemoe ming'otetab ang'ata kotebe ngot kokime kobokutur en keringet nemi akotebe chumindet. Ingap ki chumindet noton nekipchi emoni tugul ko ngot ko genuine valid mbakaisiek tugul chekipchei chumbek ko valid akine ming'otetab ang'ata Barigoi. Ako komwa nebo emet kole kamwaita mheshimiwa neng'wong kole kiterekto ang'ata kotonyoru maneng'wong. Makikipsoinik komoche kemwoke manit biikab ang'ata. Kakibet boisionik ako kikakibet chukinye ako takibeti kebendi tai kotonyoru manit biikab ang'ata. Kole nyoniru kanyone ng'wonindo nongen ale atinye en akwek biikab ang'ata ako ng'wonindo nekimoche kobek akinya. Mami chito age nenyoe kot komoe biikab kandoikwok cheumi en ireyu. Kikenamge ak mheshimiwa neng'wong oin koking'ololi tugul en bunge oin kong'olole ng'alekab president ko kit nekimwochi kilinen sobto ano bichu bo ang'ata nemokemoche takeweken kokeny betut age.
Kakoyomis Cabinet Secretary nebo kabatisiet Mutahi Kagwe biikab emet komat kosich kaiweisiet age tugul kole imuch kolany olyet nebo unga eng emet. Kosubkei ak Kagwe kowendi serikali kotyoktoi bandek kotyokchini millers asikonyumnyum olyet nebo unga en emoni.
We have been hearing reports that the price of maize and consequently unga might begin to go up. We believe that because we know the quantity of maize in the country, we know that there are some people who are hoarding maize, waiting for the prices to come up. Unfortunately, this is not going to be the case because of two reasons. Number one, we are going to release from the strategic reserves we have. The NCPB is holding strategic reserves of maize. We are going to release some of the strategic reserves of maize to the millers so that the price can stabilize. Secondly, we have also appealed to the government of Tanzania. You know, we trade. Maize is freely moved around the East African community. And we also know that maize is also going to come into Kenya from Tanzania. So there should be no panic about the price of unga going up. It is not going to go up. We are going to ensure it doesn't go up by releasing the strategic maize reserves that we have.
Atestai President William Ruto ak rutoitonyi nebo betusiek somok en county nebo Migori ole karutechi komoswek cheterter chebo county noto kolumdoi tetutik cheterter chebo bandaptai. Kaikimit ine kole tesetai koboisie en kibagenge ak neki Prime Minister ak kandoindet nebo chamaitab ODM Raila Odinga sikoibu kalyet ak chomiet en emet ak mising ko tetutik chebo bandaptai.
Nilikubaliana na baba Raila Amolo Odinga ya kwamba tuunganishe Kenya. Watu wa Migori, sawa sawa. Si mimi nilikubaliana na baba, tukasema tuunganishe Kenya, tukasema tuangamize mambo ya ubaguzi, tuondoe mambo ya ukabila, tuondoe mambo ya chuki. Ati kuna watu wengine wanakusanyana pale ati wanakasirika na mimi ati kwa sababu nimepatia Mbadi awe waziri wa finance, ati kwa sababu nimepatia Upio Wandai ati kuwa waziri wa energy. Mimi nataka niwaulize, kwani watu wa sehemu hii hawalipi ushuru? Kwani wako na serikali nyingine ya Kenya? Si hata nyinyi ni wa Kenya, si mnalipa ushuru? Upio Wandai anatosha ama atoshi? Mbadi anatosha ama atoshi? Mimi nataka niwaambie hawa wangwana, wacheni ukabila, wacheni ni chuki. Wacha tuunganishe Kenya. Kenya ni yetu sisi zote. Na mimi nataka niwaulize watu wa sehemu hii. Sawa sawa? Mimi nawauliza, vile tulikubaliana na baba tuunganishe Kenya hii, mnasema tuendelee ama tuendelee? Mnasema tulifanya sawa? Tuunganishe Kenya? Tuweke watu wa Kenya pamoja? Hebu nione wala wanasema tuunganishe Kenya. Bas. So, mimi sitaki kusema kuzidi hapo. Asanteni sana watu wa Migori. Mimi nitakuja hapa tena na tena mpaka tukamilishe hii miradi yenu yote, alafu tutasonga mbele.
Eng logoiwek alak kokakomwa minister nebo mungaret ak bandaptai Lee Kinyanjui kole kokoit kasarta nenyolu kewal kabwatutik ak iyan kotestai mungaret nebo maiwek chemoiyonotin cheboto chang'a ak busa. Kamwa Kinyanjui kole chechang en emotinwekab Afrika koyoni kerat ak kealda maiwek chekichobe eng gaa. Ako noto konyolu kiyonchi chemung'arainik ak biikab emoni koyai mung'aretab maiwek choto. Kong'oloni eng tuyet nebo Kenya National Chamber of Commerce komwa kole angot kiyan kotestai mung'aretab maiwek choto koibu bandaptai neo en emetab Kenya.
Recently, I hosted one of the diplomats representing some of the Western countries, and they were actually coming to talk to me about how we can allow their alcohol or whiskeys to come into Kenya. Now, you know, whiskey, when it comes from abroad, is very legal, it's good, we like it. But what happened to our whiskeys? Are they not the busas? Are they not, which other one? Chang'a. So here is a diplomat and he's telling me that their biggest export into some of our countries is actually that. But we have demonized our busa and our chang'a, and if we find you brewing chang'a, we arrest you. Isn't it? So I think it's good to agree the situation we are in is largely because of our mindset. And I think it's up to us now to re-engineer. I want one day to go to Western Kenya and find the best busa industry. Isn't it? Because if we can allow other people to bring it here, why don't we help those people to develop that industry? Because even Tanzania is doing it and the others. But here, the moment we see our people developing in some of these sectors, we still have a kasumba that tells us if it is not Jamison or these others, then it is illegal. And that's how we are only at 2%. So if you have to move from the 2%, we must first change our thinking. The government has done its part, but its citizens are still a bit behind. And that's why you find our youth idle, sometimes idle to the extent of throwing shoes. Yeah? So we want them to engage in a conversation of how can we make these shoes, isn't it? You know, because it's an act of, you know, and I don't want to go beyond that, but just to say I strongly believe that our country is on a takeoff stage. We have aligned the laws, we have aligned our budgets, we have aligned working with the counties, but we still believe there's a bit of a gap between what the government is doing and what the citizens know. So once we get you knowing, we want now to hear you coming together. Our development partners are here to support you. And just for your information, a few years ago, Kenya in the global map of avocado sales, we were nowhere. Now, we're in a good number 4, number 5. In another 5 years, we'll be among the top producers of avocado. The same we want to hear of tea and coffee and all these other crops, including cotton, that we want to grow.
Ole kaibet chi agenge sobenyin ako chililage meget tekan konyoru ichek nyasutietab oret en komosta nebo Chepkit eng Tindret County nebo Nandi. Kamwa MCA nekikitoror John Bitok kole kabitu nyasutionoto kosubkei ak nekipwotyini kole kangetyo brekishek eng lorit nekatetei ketei bichoto ole magat nguni kechob oret noton nebo komosta nebo Kopere Meteitei Timboroa netesetai kendonoi lamet. Ngenyoru Nelson Tarbei ak report en koindo.
Kamwa ine kole kabit nyasutyonoto eng saishekab bet kole kibwotyin kokebet breaks karinoto.
Kongelen keker karishek chotok anan keker koker meng'ik ko karishek cheosen chechukiche kerke ak basishek kikilen Leyland cho usen cho makat komi barabara. Amu karini kesyo kobor kotok wakat nekim yekangong'et nekatawendi tai kowek let. Kangatawendi kanginde kiait nebo kwo tai kowek reverse gear ak kokon sautit nebo korom. Kobate katestai ndereba Pelemo Lagat kolen kotyem kokweri komi areait nebo Chebibi karibu kerik Songo koesyo kwo tai komakobanda nebo reverse akokwo kobet oret akotokyigei oretab ainet noto bo Chebibi nekorom nekilen Chepkit akomuch kobet sobenyi sikotwal kami kondakta nekami twai sikotwal koboru kole kong'enotok matakwam kii so kirire.
Kaibor ine kaimetabgei kotinygei ak nito eng mwaet kole tomo kosir kontrakta inoto biik cheimuch kotoret ichek eng ng'alalutik.
Amu ngilen inyoru ng'alalenwa ko Chinese kotom kocheng mutaptayat newoldo ng'alek si nguno ngelen keng'ololji akot kangebwone nguno kamakat kotoret bichu ko family kamakat kotoret bichu koit yu akowekta kobate kakemeto eng yu kangoit karitab police.
Kanerekyi ine nyasutyonoto eng mwaet kole nyolu eng polis koro kole kakanapta ng'atutik mising kokochikil karishek cheyae oranoto.
Kosome serikali kondochin police nebo ortinwek koker keyai inspection keker karit kele ititaat komi oret kwai boisiet amu ngot kobwa kunotok bichu ko korom amu kong'ete ole kitoune oret kong'ete sukulitab Meteitei Secondary inyo Kapsoen inyo sukulishek chemi Kamelil inyo Tajasis Father Paul St John akoi kechorgei kotatun koyai Tindret Educational komi lagok bisi ortinwek yani kiboisie ortinwek chotok amu sukulishek chekitinye nguno eng Tindret ko nekit ko day school chebendi lagok akobwone kemeche kesom serikali koker asikonyo oret karit nemakat komi oret akong'et base commander koek serious akodilene yemeche kotoi kasit bichu asikonai kora ng'alekab public relation nebo kokwetab Meteitei Tindret akesir biik kora akot yoe kasini che biik chebo gaa cheimuchi kokuyo kole yaketebye kelen.
Kasom ine kora kontrakta inoto kotoret familia nebo chichoto kebet sobenyi.
Ko kemeche sikokompensaten the family amu kami boisiet nenotok bo kampunit nenotok bo Chinese kemeche sikoker ole katoretito ak kwai boisionik.
Kong'etegei county nebo Nandi logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Nelson Tarbei.
En county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet ko kakecher counties cheisuldaen tetutietab Floka kochob ng'atutik cheimuktechin biikab boror konyoru logoiwek anan information kotinygei ak tetutikab bandab tai cheisuldoen. Kamwa commissioner nebo Administration for Justice kole manyoru biik logoiwek choton notin koimuchi kobit kasuldaetab nametab asoya eng nyumnyumindo. Andrew Kimeto kotinye report en koindo kong'eten Elgeyo Marakwet.
Magat eng counties cheisuldae tetutietab financially locally led climate action anan FLOCA kobun benkitab ingwony nebo World Bank kochob ng'atutik cheikochini biik boroindo nebo konyor logoiwek anan information kotinygei ak kasuldaetab tetutienoto eng oretab nyumnyumindo anan access to information. Nitok ko kosubkei ak commission nebo Administration for Justice anan Ombudsman kondochini Commissioner Charles Dulo nekamwa kole tesetai commission noto kokochini kanetisiet counties choto isuldae tetutiet noto bo Floka ne agenge eng counties choto ko county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet.
Usually this would happen like in a project like Floka. The communities might want to know what is the project that they are implementing, how much is being paid for it, how is the money being utilized, and things like that. That information should be made available to the members of the public to be able to also be accountable to the projects that they are implementing. This will reduce incidences of corruption, mismanagement of funds, because a transparent government makes sure that the information is available to the people and that they will be able to ask questions and they will be given answers. And if they ask any information, it will be readily available.
So the whole purpose as to why we are here on Matters Access to Information is to support Elgeyo Marakwet in coming up with legislation that will show or demonstrate how a request for information is done and how the county can request for that information based on the law that they will have domesticated. And secondly, and most importantly, is how the county government can come up with a policy on access to information on how they want to be as open and transparent as possible to the residents of Elgeyo Marakwet.
Kotinygei ak Abraham Barsosio, program coordinator eng emoni nebo Floka, kokamwa kole eng iman komite tebutik chechang kobun biikab boror kotinygei ak Floka ne noto konyolu koibchi kamanut neo counties chobetab ng'atutiet noto.
When you look at Floka as a program, it is biased towards communities and all the priorities, everything starts from the community level. And the support that CAJ is offering is to ensure that information reaches these people, our local communities at the ward level, and everybody is sensitized on the need to know about what the government is doing.
Kobate chobetab ng'atutik choto kotindoi county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet oretab kokoitoetab logoiwek koityi biikab boror nenat ko open governance.
Elgeyo Marakwet County tuko mbele sababu hapo mbele tulikuwa tumetengeneza grievance redress mechanisms yetu ambaye tulisaidiwa kutoka program ya open governance ambaye hii county imekuwa member, ilikuwa number 1 county number 1 kuingia 2016. Na tuko mbele ni kulainisha tu na kuhakikisha kwamba sasa hiyo mambo inaenda sambamba na wananchi wetu wanafurahi.
I'm thrilled because they are part of the open governance, which again we co-convene with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and my vice chair as the Access to Information Commissioner will give more light as to why that is important.
Kongete county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu Andrew Kimeto.
Kotakemiten county noton bo Elgeyo Marakwet kotinye amune asikobaibait familia agenge nebo komosta nebo Bugar eng ward nebo Kapchemuto, county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet, kosubkei ak nekanyoru katiaknatet tilyeng'wany nekikakirat eng sobenyin tugul anan life imprisonment eng kenyitab 2011 eng lelutiet nekikimwaita kele kinyere lakwe nechepto nebo kenyisiek 4 eng komosata. Kanyoru boroindo nebo komonda en Eldoret GK Prisons boyot Ezekiel Chelimo kokikotebi inen en korkoret en kasarta nebo kenyisiek 14 ak ole kiibet kamuget nebo kokerto, kit nekamwa ine kole angot ko tinye itondo neu noto en inguni kotinye boiboiyet neo nebo konyoru katiaknatet en lelutiet nekamwa kole maisuldae yautyonoto ako kikirat ine en oret netomo kokuyo agoi inguni. Timothy Kiplimo kotinye logoiwek chuto en koindo.
Sait tisab nebo bet nebo tarik 5 arawetab 5 en kenyitab 2025 kong'etu Kipkoi en historia nebo mzee Ezekiel Chelimo. Konito ko betut nekanyor tekutet netai nebo katiaknatet en Eldoret GK Prisons. Kokikirat ine en sobenyin tugul en kenyitab 2021 en lelutiet nekikimwaitaen kole kinyere lakwet ne chepto nebo kenyisiek 4. Lelutiet nekamwa ine kole kikitish amaisuldae.
Nikasema kweli sije kamata mtoto, lakini majority ikawa wanalalia upande wa walalamishi, nikawekwa ndani. Nikaambia baba, kama unanijua kweli ya kwamba sichetenda, unilinde.
Kinuchinatut kakwautik chebo koyai appeal nebo tilet en kapkirwok akong'et ine kityo ak kit agenge nebo kosom nyoetab kat kobun kandoindetab emet.
Mpaka nikaandika tu Masi, niliandika nikiwa Kisumu, nikaandika ikaenda Nairobi, nikaandika nikiwa Naivasha, ikaenda Nairobi. Wakati nilikuwa Kamiti, nikaandika ikaenda. Hiyo yote wengine nafunguliwa na mimi napaki. Nafunguliwa mimi napaki. Nafunguliwa na mimi napaki. Nikasema Mungu unanijua siku yangu ile ambayo nitatoka. Na kweli siku ya leo Mungu amenionekania nimetoka. Naambia rais asante sana.
Dominic Cherusei kotupcho ak mzee Ezekiel Chelimo ole kamwa kole tinye ichek boiboiyet ne inegei akobo katiaknatet nekikosom koloit.
Kutishi en kenyitab 2011 kele kinam lakonyu 4 years kole kiraban. So kikotyam keborye kama familia kenam inendet kerat. Ingerat kikorat kenyisiek tugul chebo sobenyi. So ingemi kama familia ketyam keapilen kumagomugak. Keba ketyam tukaomba Mungu, kesom Mungu ako koit wakati keboryen kama familia ako koit wakati kechemwech keleche kaketyam lakini chito nyityochi president.
Kichut kurketab korkoret komite eng itondo ne kararan ak eng chametabgei kobate komong komakotinye kamuget nebo kokerto kobate eng tugul kokamwa mzee Ezekiel kole boibochin katiaknatet.
Wakati nilikuja jela nilikuwa na macho yangu yote, nilipotesha macho nikiwa welding. Hasa nikawa bahati mbaya nikapotesha macho.
Kokikosom prison nebo Eldoret kele matobir transfer amu kinyor shida nebo konyak, kikaran kuchuni lakini wakati kiyait keyacha konyak kimonda mpaka sai. So kelechi banda kereleasanwech tunafurahi kama familia kutepchike kaa kekere.
Timothy Kibet, Matthew Kimutai ak Meshak Kipchirchir ko alak eng lagok chebo Ezekiel ole kamwa ichek kole kikobun kaimutik chechang ngap kerat kwaneng'wai.
Kiachoneni form 1 by that time. Kingobit ng'alek tarak matamoche natatastang sukul because kingaran msee sukul kopit kiy nekikoromitan kere ng'alekab ne keborye ng'alekab abil tikanamba chepkecheng chepkondok chetabendi sukul keborye msee.
Wakati mzee alifungwa changi kibakait sukul, kuna wale hawakuendelesha masomo, acha alaki kutem tukafika form 4 kwa sababu ya madhe aling'ang'ana ako well wishers wenye walitusaidia. So kumwae kongoi kabisa, kama unaona kama mzee angekuwa nyumbani ukitekitera sukul na tungemaliza na nyumbani ingekuwa mzuri kabisa.
Ako betutab rani kemwae kongoi amu kakoit betut ketyong mzee. So amwae kongoi abaibai kabisa. Kikebka town kwa muda kabisa.
En kasarta newendi kotou sobet nelel kokatyech kaa kotakotinye Ezekiel sautik en muguleldanyi. Ketyach alak en biik chekamwa kole miten korkoret kobate maisuldae lelutik chekikimwaitaen ichek.
Gerezani ni changamoto wa ndugu zangu wengi, ila ambaye nawekwa ndani waache fanya kama mimi, wako wanapitia changamoto. Kuna hata watu wanaangukanga hapo maji, ila ambaye wanapitia hapo ndani. Ukiangalia hata mwili yangu saa hii isherekea, nilikuwa nakuja kama niko na mwili ni shida tubu, ila ambaye iko hapo, lakini kwa matibabu watakusaidia uende utibiwe na unarudishwa, lakini chakula ayo wewe waache tu, Mungu najua kila kitu tu.
Kong'et nganaset nebo Eldoret en county nebo Uasin Gishu, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass TV, kaninyu ko Timothy Kiplimo.
Report noto bo sirine ya Timothy Kiplimo nebo ng'wech logoiwek cho chebo emet chekaitonen inguni kong'eten studio nebo Kass TV tetutiet nebo Tililindo. Kikurenon Caroline Kiplagat nekobech logoiwek chuto en oret nebo kabarunoik ko Naomi Cherotich. Kimakun kiy age tugul nekararan, testai iker Kass TV kimnatet night.